friends, welcome back to Whoa That's Good. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Y'all, today's actually going to be a really cool day. I'm excited to roll these out. So in the past few months, I've actually been doing these things on Facebook where it's Facebook audio, where it's basically a live podcast. People get to go on Facebook and listen to me have a conversation with a friend or a guest that people know about, might be famous, might be an influencer of some sorts, and we just get to have a cool conversation. What I've been calling them are behind the screens, basically where you might think you know someone that you think is super famous and cool, but do we really know them? Like, what's behind the screens that we see? What's their heart look like? What's their family life look like? What kind of things do they love and enjoy? What do they, like to eat for breakfast? Just the simple things that you might not know about these people. So I get to interview some incredible people, and Facebook was so nice enough to let me actually roll them out on my podcast. Because as I was talking to these people, I was like, man, I so wish my Whoa That's Good listeners could hear this because it's such good advice. No, I didn't ask the question, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? But to be honest, I received so much good advice from these people. Just incredible people with good families. So this week, I want to share with you the conversation I had with Bindi Irwin. She's absolutely just a beautiful human. If you don't know who Bindi is, her dad was the late Steve Irwin. He was just an absolute legend. The way he cared for animals, the way he would just dive into situations, just absolutely the coolest thing ever. He was one of me and my brother's heroes, and then we actually grew up watching Bindi. We watched Bindi the Jungle Girl after Steve's show, The Crocodile Hunter, ended. We watched her on Dancing with the Stars. We just kind of saw her life unfold, her get married to her now husband, Chandler, her have her daughter. Actually, it's kind of crazy because me and her in similar seasons. But anyways, all that to say, I was super excited that I was going to get to have a conversation with her, but I didn't want you guys to miss it. Well, that's good, listeners. Y'all, it means so much to me, and I hope that you love this conversation because I did. It really touched me, and I think it's going to touch you too, so give it a listen. Today is going to be an absolutely great conversation. Let's see. I know people are starting to pop on. If you were on last time that I was on, I had my mom and my brother on, and we got to talk about so many different things from our childhood that maybe no one knew about. Y'all might think that you know a lot about our life, but maybe some of those things you didn't, and that was super fun to get to talk to you all about. John Luke and Mom are absolutely hilarious and some of my closest friends, so that was a blast that y'all just really got to listen in on a conversation we'd have without anyone listening to. Well, today I'm really excited because I don't have a family member on, but I do have a friend on, and we are going to talk about some things in her life that maybe you don't know too. I have Bindi Irwin on our audio chat, and I am so excited because she's just an amazing human being, and we actually have a lot in common, so we're going to talk about that. But welcome to the Facebook audio room, Bindi.
G'day, it's so good to talk to you. Thank you for having me today.
I am so excited. It was actually pretty funny for those listening. We don't talk a lot. I mean, I met you years ago, and we've kind of kept up through social media, but weirdly enough, our life is so similar. Like, we've been on the same track on some really sweet life things. Like, we both were on Dance with the Stars. Then we both ended up getting married around the same time. We both have had little baby girls around the same time. And so it's so fun to just get on and have a conversation with you.
Oh, it is so wonderful. And I have to say, I absolutely love following your journey. It is so special to see someone who is filling the world with such light and positivity, because we all could use a little bit more of that. So I love being able to follow your journey, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you today. Thank you, love.
Oh, that's so sweet. That means so much. And honestly, the same for you. People ask me a lot of times, like, who do you think are good influences these days? Because, people are constantly looking for people to look up to, or a little light or positivity, and your name is always mentioned on my list of encouraging women to follow. And so thank you for shining your light and just being who you are. You're the best, and I can't wait to get to know you more. So
yay!
Tell us all, what are you currently doing? Like, what does a day in the life of Bindi look like right now? Because we might have seen a lot of what you've done in the past, but what's today look like?
Oh my goodness, every day is so busy. I'm actually sitting at our Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital right now. I'm doing this call from here, which is a lot of fun. Every day is different because I quite literally live in the middle of Australia Zoo. So my backyard is filled with wildlife, and our place is kind of a sanctuary for wildlife, kind of like a resort for wildlife, where, our animals are part of our family, and we do a lot of of rescue and rehabilitation work, and it's always busy. But I also have a beautiful baby girl named Grace. So my days have changed recently, where she is on the adventures with me. So she's right alongside me, helping me out, whether it's at the wildlife hospital or work at Australia Zoo. Most days I'm busy with our animals, feeding crocs, checking up on different things. It's a lot of fun. We've also been busy filming for Animal Planet. So it's a wildlife, but it's really fun. It's our normal. So it's really exciting. And I love the fact that I get to share our family of wildlife with so many people. I mean, we have many, many visitors every day, and we try to create unforgettable experiences for people so they can really be touched by our animals. They gain a better understanding of our wildlife and wild places, and they take home this appreciation and respect for our planet. So it feels like we have a very big mission. We call ourselves wildlife warriors, and to be a wildlife warrior means to stand up and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm very grateful, but definitely big missions for us.
Yes, that is so cool. I love that about your family. It's like everything you do it on purpose, with a purpose, for a greater mission. And I think in life, you know, we can go about our day and we can do our things, we could do our job, but to do our job with purpose is when magic happens. And your family certainly does that. And I just want to note that you just said so many amazing things. Like, you're so casual about it. You're like, oh yeah, I feed crocs and I take care of animals. Like that is so cool. Like, my backyard, we have a couple animals, but we have like goats and pigs. You have like crocodiles and koalas, and like that is just amazing. We live on a little farm, so it's not quite the Australian zoo, but we also,
I love that though.
Really
I love
cool.
goats and pigs, and I also see you have a beautiful puppy dog as well.
We do. We have a beautiful puppy dog named Cabo after our honeymoon. And we love our dog. So we definitely love and appreciate animals, and your family inspires us to love them even greater. I was going to ask you, because I actually saw a little clip of your wedding video, and you were talking about how like you really wanted the animals there because they're like family to you. And I think that concept that like an animal is like family is such a concept that like not many people can understand unless they've had like a cat or a dog or something like that. And so help us like see inside of what that relationship with the animals for you actually looks like. Like how do you bond with something that you can't speak the same language?
It's true. I think it's really special where, like you described with your cat or your dog, even your goldfish, you have this bond, and they become part of your family. You care about them so much. And with our wildlife here at Australia Zoo, it's similar. It's a little bit different because, you know, crocodiles aren't exactly like cats or dogs, you know, they're not really snuggly, but you gain this understanding where you know what they're feeling, what they need through how they express themselves. So it's wonderful for us where, because I've grown up with these animals. I mean, we had a tortoise here at Australia Zoo that lived to be 174 years old.
Wow.
And this tortoise, her name was Harriet. She felt like my grandmother, or my great-great-grandmother, I guess. She, you know, you spend so much time with these animals, and they communicate in their own way. And you know, every animal has a different kind of personality, even with animals like crocodiles. We have one croc named Monty, and he's just a really chubby dolphin. He eats like his life depends on it, and he loves spending time with people. And he grew up. He actually knew my dad when they were both about the same size. You know, as Dad grew, Monty grew, and he's been part of our family since I was born. So it's these connections and bonds where they do feel like, you know, part of your family, and they are so special that when I got married, I had to have our beautiful animals with me, because they're a little bit like your dog or your cat. They're just so important to your life. And what's so wonderful too is that, you know, all of our animals at Australia Zoo, they have such fun days where they have endless amounts of room to be able to roam and explore, but they actually really like spending time with people. Like our lemurs just want to sit with you and eat fruit, and our tortoises love to get their shells scratched, and the koalas just need cuddles. It's really funny where, you know, you'll be walking through the zoo and the koalas will climb down out of their trees to come get hugs. And you can tell it's kind of that mutual feeling. They love spending time with you, and you have that same love and respect for them. And it is amazing. I mean, we are living the dream, I guess, in a way. You'll have to come and visit us one day when the world finds some balance. You'll have to come see us, because I'd love for you to cuddle some koalas as well. It's a lot of fun.
That would literally be a dream. Christian today was watching some of y'all's videos with me, and he was like, this would be like a dream to get to go and meet them and see this. Like, he loves animals. And so one day we will definitely have to do that. And I'm not even kidding. We would absolutely love that. It's kind of funny because I don't know if like y'all say this in Australia, but people here are like, what's your spirit animal? And I always say mine's a koala because I just always want to hug. And so that's so funny that you said that about koalas. That makes me love them even more.
Well, they do have the life. I mean, they sleep like 21 hours a day.
Exactly.
They eat for the rest of the time, and they just want snuggles. So
I mean, it's not a bad life.
It's
pretty good. Well, I love that. Friends, I want to tell you about an awesome jewelry brand that I have just come to know about. It is Ana Luisa, and it's so amazing. I personally love jewelry. I actually haven't always been the biggest jewelry person because I'm actually allergic to nickel, and nickel is in so much jewelry. But I found out that Ana Luisa, they have no nickel. It's nickel free, and also it's hypoallergenic. It is totally safe, so you can wear it without worries. So if you're like me and you're allergic to nickel, this is a great brand for you. Their jewelry is so beautiful. It's affordable, but it's also gorgeous. There are some very simple pieces and some a little bit more. I have these lightning bolt earrings that I think they're so cute. I also got this Victoria chain that is just absolutely beautiful, and I could wear it, you know, as is, just a single chain, or I could layer it. And this is another really beautiful necklace that I got as well. The cool thing too is it comes in really nice packaging, and so you can be sure that your jewelry is going to be safe. Really, just all around, it's a great brand. Also, this is really awesome. So if you're a fan of jewelry and you constantly like changing things out, Ana Luisa drops a new release every single Friday. So every Friday you can get something new. It's always going to be good because their brand is really awesome. I think you're going to love it. And they back up their quality with a 365-day guarantee to replace or refund any pieces that you're not 100% satisfied with, which is really awesome because sometimes you got to try it out and they let you do that, but I know you're going to love it. Ana Luisa is spelled Analuisa. Seriously amazing. You can get earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, whatever you are looking for in the jewelry world. This is your go-to place. And the prices are even lower right now with 20% off when you shop.analuisa.com/whoa, which is pretty awesome. So don't forget, it's spelled Analuisa. Pieces are absolutely stunning and simple. The prices are very fair. They start at just $39, which is so amazing, and you can get 20% off right now. So go ahead, check it out. 20% off. Shop.analuisa, Analuisa.com/whoa today. You mentioned your dad, and I have to say, your dad was such an amazing man. I mean, you know that more than anyone. My brother and I were such huge fans of the Crocodile Hunter, and we loved the movie. That was like in our minivan. We used to watch the Crocodile Hunter movie like every day. We would sing the song and laugh when the barn exploded. Like we loved it. We loved your dad, and we remember exactly where we were whenever we heard about his passing and cried with y'all through that. And so it's a joy to just get to even know you in a sense now, because you've carried on that mission so beautifully. I mean, you've done it from the start. I actually watched Bindi the Jungle Girl and loved you then and love you now. And so what's it been like growing up, you know, in the spotlight and carrying on this great mission of your dad?
Oh, well, firstly, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. It's phenomenal to me how many lives Dad really touched with his conservation message. And he always said, I don't care if people remember me, I care if people remember my message and my mission.
Wow.
And it wasn't until he passed away that we found out how many people he affected. And it was overwhelmingly special. And I think that when he died, as a family, we came together and we really thought about, what do we do now? Like, where do we go from here? And we decided that, you know, when you are faced with tremendous loss and insurmountable grief, you tend to have two options. You can either curl up and say, I'm done, I just need to stay in my little bubble, or you can choose to rise again and to find love and light and happiness in life and carry on where that person left off and remember all the good times and celebrate their life. And that's what we've decided to do is we really want to make sure that Dad's mission lives on forever. And every day we want to celebrate him. I mean, my beautiful daughter, she's about 5.5 months old now. And for me, it's so important that she gets to watch the documentaries and know her grandpa Crocodile, as we call him.
So sweet.
That's why we've continued on with all of our conservation work. You know, he spent his whole life working so hard to protect wildlife and wild places, and all he wanted was to bring people with him on this journey, to appreciate not just the cute and cuddly animals, but animals like sharks and snakes that are slightly misunderstood, but still incredibly important for our world. And he wanted people to know about these issues facing our planet, but do it in a way that you felt good. You know, when you watched a Dad documentary, that was who he was in real life, by the way. He was just that excited, so cool. And always, he was such a fun dad. But he really wanted to be able to inspire you with this amazing message. But he didn't want to lecture anybody. So it was kind of that sense of accidentally learning something when you would watch his documentaries through the Crocodile Hunter. Yeah, and so that's what we've chosen to do. So that's why we continue on with our wildlife hospital. We have conservation projects all over the world because we want to make sure that his legacy lives on. But that's why it's so lovely to get to talk to you and to hear that you liked the shows means so much. It's almost like every time I hear that, it's like getting a little piece of Dad back, if that makes sense. Cool. It's really special because he lives on in all of us.
Yes, that's so beautiful. That's amazing. And I really don't just say that, to be honest. Like, we loved him so much. My brother had a birthday party, and that was the Crocodile Hunter birthday party. We had an alligator come in. We had animals. Seriously, we definitely learned a lot from your dad. And even, I love that you said that about like snakes and sharks and stuff, because my brother actually really took that on, because we always had snakes at the house, and he would just want you to hold them. He's like, no, they're friendly. He'd always get the friendlier ones that we'd hold, and he learned how to catch them from watching your dad. And so, it's just crazy because y'all are in Australia. We're here in a little small town, Louisiana, and, the message was passed. And so I just wanted to tell you that, and that I think that is really cool. Speaking of crocodiles and sharks and snakes and everything, how do you help people get past maybe the fears that they have of animals like that? Because they can be kind of scary, and you're right. I think a lot of people are scared of them. And so when you see the things y'all do, it can feel so shocking. And so where does that heart for them come from, and how do you kind of get past the fear?
That's such a good question. I think it's similar to what you were saying with your snakes. Being able to understand them really helps take the fear away. And granted, we don't encourage anyone to go up and kiss an alligator on the face. It's okay. Like there's boundaries, right? But it is something where if you are able to understand an animal and kind of gain a better scope on why they do what they do. Like, for example, snakes, we're also scared of, they're slithery, they're kind of freaky, but in all honesty, the only reason why a snake would bite is if it felt scared or if it was trying to eat. We always tell people, because we actually have a snake phobia therapy session here at Australia Zoo, because some people are so afraid of snakes that they see their garden hose and go into a full-blown panic attack, which, I mean, you can't live like that, right?
Yeah.
So they come into Australia Zoo, and we start by just teaching them that, snakes are more afraid of you than you are of them. If you are a snake, you think about it, if they're on the ground, they're only like a couple inches tall, and there you are.
That's true.
Thundering over them. They're terrified. That's the only reason why they'd react. And so it's understanding the inner workings of these animals, because really they're all just trying to go about their daily lives. Crocodiles, they can't chase you down the street. They're very slow moving animals. Sharks, they live in the ocean. You won't have a problem if you're in your house.
That's true.
It's understanding how they work. And we've always tried to take the mystery out of it, because I think it's that monster under your bed mystery that breeds fear. And look, it's an instinct as well. I think as humans, we have this instinct to be afraid of snakes and sharks and crocs, because that's how you'd live longer back in the day. If you were scared of a snake, you'd probably live longer because you weren't likely to pick it up. But we haven't really developed that instinct to be afraid of cars yet, and yet cars kill way more people. So it's fascinating, and I do think there's room to learn. And granted, you don't have to fall in love with the animal, but just to gain a mutual respect is what we try to do for people here at Australia Zoo.
That's cool. We all do an amazing job, and I love that. So speaking of fears, this is a little bit different than a crocodile, but we both went on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is way scarier than a crocodile.
Okay.
Oh my word.
Because that is very scary. That is a very intimidating thing to do, to dance in front of millions of people watching. And I always said to people, which I don't know if you felt this way, but I was like, I didn't even think about the millions of people watching. Just the fact that there's like 4 judges who are going to literally judge the way that I dance when I don't even know how to dance was just as scary to me than the millions of people. And so
terrifying.
I know. And you also mentioned before we got on this call that you had never like really worn heels before the show.
No, I had never worn heels in my life before I went on dancing. And then suddenly my partner, poor Derek, oh my word, he is so wonderful and so lovely, but I put high heels on for the first time and immediately fell over. I mean, like face planted. And I just watched his face and the producer's face go, well, she's probably not going to be on this show for very long.
Oh my goodness.
I felt so bad. Poor Derek, he had to work literally from the ground up. Like it was ridiculous. But it was terrifying. I have to tell you, I would way rather hug on a 15-foot crocodile than dance. I mean, oh my word, it is scary. And I don't know how you found it, but it was trying to get into the right headspace before the show went live and everyone was there, was really challenging. It was quite intimidating. That I remember Derek used to say to me, you just have to tune everyone else out. And it's just us dancing. It's wild. But you did such a fun dance. I'm trying to remember, it was like the theme song to the Mario Brothers.
Mario, yes.
That was amazing. How did you do that? It was incredible.
It was so much fun. I have to say, we practiced for that dance like so much longer than any other dance. It was like we would get there early in the morning, say till like past midnight, because Mark had like always wanted to get the rights to the Mario song so we could do the dance. And it's very hard because you know how songs are. It's sometimes hard to get rights. And Mario and Nintendo is such an established thing. And so they finally released it to us the year that I was on. So it was such a big deal to Mark. So he was like, we have to crush this. And I will say, I was so bad with heels too. And on the freestyle, they let you wear whatever shoe you wanted. So I went and got some Converses and wore my pink Converses. And it was a blast. That was like the most fun thing ever. And I feel you. It was so hard, like right before when like the audience is like clapping and then you hear like your 3 clicks and like it's just so overwhelming. But I remember in that moment, like my faith means so much to me, and there's a scripture that says, I will not forget the confident trust that I have in the Lord, for it will be richly rewarded. And every time in that moment of like chaos, I would just like say that verse over in my head. And it was so crazy because sometimes, I don't know if you felt like this, but it was like the dance went by so fast. Sometimes I didn't even know if I did it. I was like, did that just happen? Like, it felt like such a blur. And your partner, like, Derek is such a great partner. Mark was so great that they really carry you through it in so many ways. Like, they're pulling you here and pulling you there, and you practice so much that it's almost just like routine. So it's amazing how your confidence grows as the show grows. And by the time we did our freestyle and we did the Mario dance, it was just a whole lot of fun. Friends, if you have not heard of Stamps.com, I'm about to save you a lot of time and some money. Stamps is amazing. Stamps.com lets you compare rates, print labels, and access exclusive discounts on UPS and USPS services all year long. So if you're looking to dodge all the hectic holiday shopping traffic, then why would you not get Stamps.com and avoid having to go to the post office? It really is awesome. Live Original has used Stamps.com. Duck Commander, my dad's business, uses Stamps.com because it really just is a way that you can get all your shipping needs done from wherever you are, from your small business. And so it's really great. It's kind of like the difference of taking the stairs and the elevator. It's like, yeah, you could take the stairs, but why would you not just take the elevator? You could go to the post office, but Stamps.com offers you a great and really convenient way to get your needs where they need to go. Seriously, a great thing for saving time and money this holiday season. You can do that with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code WHOA, that's WHOA, for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's pretty legit. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code WHOA, WHOA. Go to Stamps.com today. Man, I was so scared when I started that show, and so I can't even imagine having never worn heels. But had you ever danced before?
I had not. I had never danced before in my life, and so it was it was such a wonderful, terrifying thing. But I think that you in life, you're on to something extraordinary if it scares you just a little bit. It's that feeling of pushing your own boundaries and trying something new. And I was amazed because our world is conservation, and for me to be able to bring the conservation message to, like you say, millions and millions of people every week was such a blessing. To be able to share our story and our journey was extraordinary. And I think that I never imagined that I would be able to bring my conservation message to so many people by wearing sequins and high heels. But
I know, right?
That's where we were at. And
it was so cool.
So much fun. And I'm so grateful to be able to share our journey with so many people and to be able to hopefully spread a little extra light in the world through our dances. It was really fun. And it was funny because at this very first time we danced together, Derek is so amazing, but I said, we did that. We got through the first dance. If I get voted off tonight, it's okay. I understand. And I said that every single week.
Wow.
I'm ready to be voted off. I packed my bags from that first night. I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And then somehow we made it through. It was extraordinary, but so special. And I'll forever be grateful because I also got to meet you through dancing. So
I know.
That's really wonderful.
So special. It does make so many great connections for you as far as just friends and family. And you just get so close to the people on the show because you went through something together that is so outside of your comfort zone, and it does push you. And I think you're right. Like, things in life that are worth it and things in life that are probably going to do something extraordinary after, you're going to have to face fear, and you're going to have to get past that. And that's not just things like Dance for the Stars or jumping on a crocodile. For people listening, that's through daily decisions in life. If it scares you a little bit, but you know it's something that matters, then it's worth it to press past that fear, to do the thing that's hard to get you to get your message out, or to make the world a brighter place. And I loved your light dance. That was so beautiful, and there was just so many things on the show that I just thought you carried it so well with so much grace.
Thank you.
Which, so funny, I just said with so much grace, and my next question was going to be about your daughter. So good timing.
That was perfect.
I know that just worked out great. I love her name. I think it is beautiful. You know, my daughter's name is Honey, and her name means so much to me. And I saw you post a little post about why you named her Grace Warrior. So can you talk about your name process with us?
Absolutely. Well, actually, when she was born, we hadn't chosen a name because we said we want to meet her first. We don't want to name her without holding her. That was just our philosophy. And everybody is different. Sometimes you find out you're pregnant and you immediately know this is what I'm going to name our baby. But for us, we were just like, nope, we're going to wait. And when she was born, actually the first thing that I said was that she's our little graceful warrior. And
wow.
we had been looking through our family trees, and my great grandmother's name was Grace. And in Chandler's family, dating back to the 1700s, his family had a few Graces pop up every now and then. And when she was born, I said, she's our graceful warrior. And Chandler goes, oh my gosh, that's her name. And we just looked at each other and went, oh my word, this is it. And we decided Grace Warrior would be her name. And it's perfect for her. It is her. She is our little graceful warrior and has been since the moment she was born. And it's really, really special because, you know, we call ourselves wildlife warriors. So it really fit beautifully. So her middle name Warrior is a tribute to my dad. And it meant a lot. It's extraordinary how when you meet this little person, you just know everything clicks into place, and it's extraordinary. It's I was having that conversation with Chandler last night. Actually, my husband Chandler, he's such a good man. I'm so lucky, and he was just saying how there is no description for the amount of love you can have in your heart. I mean, it's like your heart grows to be able to fit this much love in because, you know, as a couple, we love each other so much through everything. We are there for each other and we love each other. And then you bring into this world this beautiful little person, and the capacity of love that you can hold within is extraordinary, and it's so special. And I see that with you and Christian, with your beautiful little Honey. It's so special to be able to share that love. And whenever you share a photo of Honey and talk about your journey, I can feel it with you. It's just it's really, really special and powerful. There's nothing in the world like it. It's amazing.
That's so true. I feel the exact same way. It's such a different kind of love than you've ever experienced. I think it's such a selfless love because it's like, I think with your husband, like, it's like you love them so much, but they're so amazing. They're so kind. They're so awesome and sweet and fun and all the things. And they're with you with the hard times and they're with you in the good times. And it's like this mutual just like love and respect for one another. But with your child, it's like they can't do anything for you, but they're everything to you. You know, it's like, you can't give me anything, but you've already given me everything by being who you are. And I think that in and of itself is just a love that you've never experienced before, because it has nothing to do with what they do, what they can, what they can't do. It's just who they are. You just love who they are. And you're already so proud of who they are. Like, it's so cool. Honey is 4 months old and like she literally would do the smallest thing. And I'm just like so proud of her. Like, I just love her so much. And it's just sweet. We talk about the same things. Like, she is a little bit sick right now, and she was doing her little nebulizer breathing treatment because she has RSV, which has been a battle to walk through. But Christian walked in today and she had her nebulizer and she poked her face out of it and looked at him and gave him the biggest grin. And he came in and he was like, Sadie, I love her so much. Like, and just like one little moment could just literally melt you. So we feel the same way totally. And I love that our daughters are so close. So when we come, they can be sweet little friends.
I would love that. Grace would love that.
Yes, and Grace and Honey, that would be too much cuteness.
It's perfect. But we laugh about the same thing. We always say, because it's the funniest thing where we'll be eating dinner and then Grace will like smile or go, agoo. And we're all like, oh my God, Grace, you're amazing. We love you. And then we just end up going, like, she just said goo.
I know.
We should be amazed by everything that we do too, you know? Like, yay, we got up this morning.
I know.
So proud of ourselves. And it's so funny where you know, you are proud of every little thing. And it is wonderful. It's so wonderful. But I think that when you have a little one, you see the world new again, and you find magic in even the tiniest of things. And I love that so much, because we were just recently on a camping trip in far north Queensland, and it was such a blessing to be able to take Grace with us and share, you know, the beauty of nature. But we would honestly see the world through new eyes whenever she would stop and go, I love this leaf. And then we'd spend half an hour looking at a leaf, and you'd go, if it wasn't for Grace, we never would have spent 30 minutes just sitting here looking at this leaf. And you know what? It is an amazing leaf, and it is extraordinary that this little leaf exists. And it's
awesome.
It's funny. You see the magic in the world again, and you see what an extraordinary place it is. And I think that's so special. I think we could all learn a lot from that, to be able to appreciate our surroundings a little bit more and find the beauty and joy in even the tiniest of things. I love that so much. And I hope she feels better. I'm sending lots of prayers and good vibes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Yes, it really is so true. They see everything with wonder. It's all new to them, and it's extraordinary. And the world is so beautiful, and it is so amazing. You're right. Like, a leaf is really cool. A tree is really beautiful. The sky is really amazing. And I think because we have seen it day after day after day after day, sometimes we don't appreciate the gift that it is. And seeing it through the eyes of a child, with the wonder of a child, with the excitement of a child, truly is just amazing. And it's a blessing to get to do that and to see from that perspective. Isn't it absolutely crazy to think about that we spend 1/3 of our lives in bed? It's kind of crazy. It's actually kind of a nice thought too. You know, when you get stressed out, just think about that. 1/3 of your life is spent in bed. So you might as well spend it with comfy sheets. And I'm going to tell you, the most comfy are Boll and Branch. Y'all, let me just describe this to you. They are buttery, soft, lightweight, and made with 100% organic cotton that is weaved together and feels amazing and incredible in season. Y'all, this is actually a great gift to give someone. Like I said, if you're spending that much time in bed, people need good sheets. And that's one of those things you don't really want to buy for yourself, but when someone gives it to you, you're like, thank you, this is such a great gift. And when they feel that, it's gonna be amazing. Personally, I'm like the worst wrapper of all time. I've watched YouTube tutorials, I've called friends to teach me, I've watched my mom for years. I cannot wrap a present, so I always like to buy stuff that's like pre-wrapped, and they actually wrap theirs very nicely and neatly, so whenever you give it to somebody, it's already wrapped for you. It's a great gift that everyone is definitely gonna love because they're so comfy and so soft. I think you're gonna love them because Boll and Branch holds themselves to high standards across the board, from sourcing pure organic cotton to putting workers' rights first, which is just really great to know that you're supporting a really good brand. They don't only make sheets too, they do pillows, they do bath towels and robes as well, which are also great gifts. They come in several different colors and ranging from twin to California king. So whatever bed you have, it'll fit your preferences and hopefully your color choice as well. Go ahead and check them out today. Treat yourself and your loved ones to a new standard of bedding from Boll and Branch. Their gifts are wrapped, like I said, perfect for the holidays, but you have to order before December the 19th to guarantee a Christmas delivery. But that's cutting it close, y'all, so I'd go ahead and get on it. The best deal of the year is going on from now. That's November the 1st through November the 11th. So right now, you're definitely going to want to act on it. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing it is in that time range. But use my promo code WOA at bollandbranch.com. That's BOLL and branch BindiRanch.com with the promo code WOA. Exclusions may apply, so go ahead and get on it right now. Their gifts come wrapped and ready in their special holiday packaging. Don't forget, use my code at checkout, WOA.
I want to talk to you about your husband. You mentioned him several times, and y'all's relationship is so sweet. And it's kind of funny because we have a lot in common. I mentioned to you this before the call, but we both married guys from Florida, which, hello, thank you, Florida, for raising two great men.
Absolutely.
And your husband's name is Chandler, and Christian's middle name is Chandler. So I just thought that was so cool that happened. But of course, everyone loves a love story. So tell us about how you and Chandler from Florida met.
I love that so much. It's incredible. So Chandler and I, wow, we met, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do some quick math here. We met in 2013, and wow. Gosh, it has been such an adventure. He actually used to be a professional wakeboarder, and wow. He traveled all over the world because he was, I hate to brag, but like the best in the USA. He was amazing.
Let's go. Hey, you can brag on your husband.
I know. It was really special. He's so funny. He's like, don't bring that up, you know. Like, you're amazing. Be proud of that.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so he was traveling all over the world at that time, and he came to Australia, and I was giving the tours that day here at Australia Zoo, and thank goodness, I'm very happy. Everything happens for a reason. So I gave him and his family a tour, and we just immediately hit it off, and he was so much fun. I immediately just fell in love with everything about him. I mean, he was just such a kind, thoughtful person, and he's that real old-fashioned gentleman, which is challenging to find these days.
That's true. That is true. And when you find one, you know.
Oh yeah, completely. So it was really fun, and we had a great time. And then he left, and we didn't talk for a little while because we didn't really have any way to communicate. I didn't really have his number. He didn't have mine. And so he ended up, actually, his brother contacted my mom and said, hey, Chandler would like to ask your permission to stay in touch with Bindi. And so Chandler talked to my mom, and he said, I'd love to stay in touch with Bindi. Would that be okay with you? And my mom ran into me and she said, you have to marry this guy. Like,
wow.
He's incredible.
That's
he's so kind.
Sweet.
So he ended up, we exchanged details and stayed in touch. And him living in Florida and me living in Australia, here in Queensland, it was long distance for a very long time, but we just hit it off, and we were great friends for years and years and years. He was my best friend, and it developed into something more, and we've never looked back. I mean, it's really, really special happenstance. You know, you never know when these things are going to happen. It's like lightning strike, but it's extraordinary, and it's so important to hold on to that when you find it. So yeah, we were kind of like, the rest is history.
I love it. I love it.
It's all happened, and now, gosh, he's extraordinary. We kind of we're a little bit of a wild family where we deal with lots of different animals. So you know, we're always doing crazy things. But I knew that he was the one when he was working with the crocodiles. Sometimes to be able to get them home, we have to like jump into the water and splash and to get them to go to certain ponds and things after we've given them a feed. And so I knew that I was going to have to marry him when he jumped in the water with one of our crocodiles and helped to swim him home. And I went, you know what? This man is marriage material. I think I found my one.
That is a real man right there, if he can jump in the water with a crocodile.
Yeah,
I mean, awesome.
It's hard to find someone to do that. It takes a real level of commitment, but
that is true. I mean, let me see. Whenever we come, I'll see if Christian, can jump in the water with the crocodile.
Oh my gosh, we will keep him him safe. We will keep him safe, I promise. But it is
he'd love
so
it.
much fun. It's so much fun, and we're so lucky to have found each other. It is that I believe that everything happens for a reason, and there is this plan for you. So I think it's really special. Yeah, to find your person.
I totally believe that too, and I do think you said it's like lightning strike, and in a sense it really is. And I always like to tell girls, because a lot of girls get really caught up in the anxiety of looking for someone to marry, and I say, like, I wish I would have rested more in my anxious thoughts and known that it's not up to me to look. I can always be ready and posture myself in the position to meet someone. But honestly, you're right. It all happens for a reason. Everything happens in the time that it's supposed to happen. And literally, the day I met Christian, I would have never thought I was going to find my husband. I was looking for my husband. I literally just was doing my thing, hanging out with my friends, and I saw him. And I saw him in his element, and he saw me in mine for who we were. And we were like, okay, I like this person. This person's awesome. I want to hang out with this person more. And I think when you can take the anxiety off yourself and the pressure off yourself, that's when you actually open yourself up more to be able to even be in that relationship when the guy comes. And so I love that. Hearing your story is so beautiful. One thing I love about you and your family is just y'all have such a positive outlook on life. You're always pointing towards something positive and happy and joyful, but you don't ignore the bad things. You don't ignore the hard things that happen to y'all. You talk about them, but at the end of the day, you're always looking towards something positive. And so, where do you think that mindset comes from within you?
Yeah, I think that for us as a family, we try really hard to find the joy in every day. And I think that's so important, because life is filled with ups and downs. I mean, we all have a story, and we have all dealt with our own battles and grief. And sometimes it is difficult to find the light in the day. And for us as a family, my mom actually started doing this. At the end of every day, we would sit down and we would say, what was the best part of my day? What was my favorite thing that happened? And then what was my good deed for the day? And every single day we would do that. And she started this after my dad passed away. She said, we're doing this as a family at the end of every day. And actually it almost sets this pattern in your mind and your heart, where suddenly each and every day you're looking for the good part of the day, and you're looking to do your good deed for the day. Wow. And it is so powerful, because some days are hard, and some days you go, the good part of my day was my shower. I loved the warm water. I loved getting to wash my hair. That was a really good part of the day, because, the rest of the day was really difficult. And then you find your good deed. You're like, well, today I rescued this animal, or I helped someone out with something that they were working on. And it's extraordinary how it changes the way you look at life and you look at your day-to-day activities. And I think that has really helped us as a family to find the good, because it is difficult. There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot that you can kind of get stuck in the same pattern of negativity, and it's hard to climb out. And that's when you have to look around and find your support group, the people that you love, find what you are passionate about in life, and just hold on to that and find that light. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be really, really little, like getting the door for someone, or just looking at the sunshine. That's a good part of the day.
Hey,
but you can always find something, and that has really helped us as a family. And I'm really grateful to my beautiful mama for doing that. Do you have anything in your family that's similar that you do every day?
I love that, Bindi. That's so cool. You know what's so funny is that, I'm not kidding you, my next question was, what is things that your family does to keep your bond strong? And so that's so crazy that you just went into that, and our family does as well. And it's crazy because we always do our highs and lows. So at the dinner table, we say, like, what was the best part of your day and what was something that was hard today? And the reason that we do that is not to dwell on the negative, but I think because sometimes when something hard happens, you tend to maybe keep it to yourself, and it can make you feel like internally sad and isolated, and I think that's whenever like you start to feel like alone in your problems. And so it kind of just opens up the table to talk about hard things with the people that love you and that can help you through it. So yeah, we always do our highs and lows, and then my husband and I, we always pray together every day, and that's just so important to us because it's like, okay, some things were like praiseworthy and we're praying and saying, thank you, God, for this amazing thing. And some days are a little bit harder and you're like, God, I can't carry the burden of this. And so we give this to you as a couple. And so that is just really cool because I think anything that you do with your family, whether it is, what y'all do, which I love, and we're going to have to incorporate that, which is the best deed and the best thing that happened, or maybe it's a prayer, or maybe it's your highs and lows, like coming together as a family and doing life together as a family, talking about the good, talking about the bad, talking about the things that you did to help the world. Those things, like in and of themselves, like probably do more for the world than you even know. Because I think when families are together and families are strong, the world's a better place. And so I absolutely love that. Your family sets such a good example for so many reasons. Y'all are such a great example for wildlife and for the mission that y'all are on, but you're also just great examples to watch as people. The way that you find joy in things, the way that your marriage is so strong, the way that y'all parent Grace, Warrior, the way that your mom loves y'all and keeps y'all together, the way I even saw a clip of your brother tearing up talking about how thankful he was for how Chandler loves you. Like the love y'all have for one another is an example for the whole world to see. And your dad set the tone and y'all have carried it out, and it's beautiful. And Bindi, I couldn't thank you more for joining me. I actually kind of forgot we were doing a Facebook audio and there's a lot of people listening. I feel like I'm just talking to a sweet friend. And so I'm thankful that people got to listen into this, and because I know you inspired everyone today, but thank you for also inspiring me. And if I were to say the best thing that happened to me today, it would definitely be this conversation. And a good deed, I would have to say, is that everyone got to hear it and that people are going to be impacted. And so how can we support you and your family and what y'all are doing right now before we get off?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for everything. And I have to say the feeling is definitely mutual. It has been so special getting to talk to you, and keep changing the world, because it is so empowering to be able to watch you on your journey, and you inspire so many people, more people than you realize. So please keep up the amazing work. And yeah, we're always busy here at Australia Zoo. You can check out Wildlife Warriors to be able to learn more about what we do. We have Instagram and Facebook, and we have our website, wildlifewarriors.org, and you can see all of our conservation work globally. But I am so grateful to get to talk to you, Sadie, and to everybody listening. It is a blessing, and I am forever grateful that we're kind of all on this journey together. And
right.
It's so important to find that love and light in every day. And it's something where we could all use a little bit of kindness and a little bit of happiness, especially right now with how crazy the world is. But sending giant koala cuddles your way and to everybody because that's important. Yes. And one day, Sadie, you'll have to come and visit us here at Australia Zoo and get those koala cuddles in real life, and we'll make sure that Honey gets to hug on a lot of animals too.
Yes, me and Honey will go for the koalas, and Christian can go for the crocodile. But
I love it.
We can't wait. Well, I appreciate it, and everyone that was listening, thanks for listening in to another Facebook Audio Live. I've so enjoyed doing this, and just love getting to talk to amazing people. As Bindi said, we could all use a little bit more kindness and more light, and I just want to encourage you that you can be that person. You can be that person in your city. You can be that person in the world. You can be that person right in your home by starting tonight. Talk to your family about some things that they did today. Talk about some things that you could do tomorrow, and just continue to try to make daily decisions to bring joy and positivity into the world. And so we appreciate y'all listening. God bless you all, and thank you again, Bindi, for being on.
Thank you, lovely. Have a great, I think it's nighttime there. It's morning here. So have a great evening or morning wherever you are.
Well, thank you. We'll have a good night, and you have a good morning.
Thank you, beautiful. Bye.
Friends, if you enjoyed this conversation, I encourage you to go follow me on Facebook. I'm Sadie Robertson on Facebook. I have a blue check, so you know that it's me. Go follow along my Facebook journey.